Hello, my group number 4s. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we're doing a little 3-card spread that is from the Tarot Diagnosis, and it is called A Spread for Loneliness. So this is the card that pulled you guys in. It is a person falling down a hole. Focus. Sorry, my camera's on my phone. There we go. It is a person falling down a well of some kind. So, yeah, heavy one for you guys. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards and we're going to get right into it, all right? So card number 1 is what part of me feels lonely? Card number 2 is what is this loneliness here to teach me? And card number 3 is how can I resolve this feeling independently? All right, so the way I've been treating that last one of treating this feeling independently, I don't necessarily mean doing this work alone. A lot of what I have been talking about is what are the next steps you personally can take, because we can't make anybody else do anything. So it's more about what are your next actions that could help, not necessarily meaning that they have to be done alone. So let's see what we have for you guys, my group number 4s. You're the first group number 4s in a while now. Been doing a lot of 3 groups recently. Ooh, oh my. Oh God. Okay, that one really wants to come out, so we're gonna give you that one. All right, let's see what we have for you guys here. So, I might need to turn on a light because it is getting a little dark. Oops. So, let's see what we have for you guys. Ready? All right, group number 4s. So the feeling that I'm getting straight off the bat from your draw-in card is that a lot of our loneliness comes from a dark place, our shadow selves, our maybe a hole we've found ourselves in, whether that's an emotional or physical hole. I hope you're not actually stuck in a physical hole. If you're stuck in a physical hole, stop watching this video and call 911 or something. The first card that we have here, this card talks about what part of me feels lonely. And the card we have for you guys is the 10 of Air, which is the 10 of Swords. 10 of Air, 10 of Swords. And this card says, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change, and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me. This card did feel a lot like mini death. So that's what the 10 of Air is. Normally it is a man being stabbed by 10 swords. And he is very dead. So what part of you feels lonely? It feels like this part of us that is depressed. This part of us that is seeing the end of a lot of things, the part of us that feels alone. A part of you that feels like you've been in a battle for a long, long time. And it's either you've come to the end of your rope or the battle has ended. That can be extremely draining and extremely isolating. The end of a difficult situation. Yeah, the end of a difficult situation, it can feel like even if this situation was difficult, right? Sometimes it can feel like at least it was familiar. At least I knew what was happening. At least I knew what to do. But now that that situation has come to a close, now that we're no longer fighting this situation, it feels like I have no footing at all. I have no footing at all. I have no ground to stand on. I am just falling into black space. And that is super lonely. And yes. Let's move on to the next card, because I think a lot of us understand and know this feeling, so I don't think there's too much to sit on with that one. So card number 2 is, what is this loneliness here to teach me? And the card we have for you guys is the Knight of Fire. Ooh. The Knight of Fire. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured, restless. And it says, a sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. So, I think what this loneliness is here to teach you is, one, that you are an extremely passionate person. Maybe you feel lonely because whatever the situation is, the other person or thing or something that was involved just didn't. And that's kind of like the opposite of, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. It's like one of the worst feelings when you realize someone just didn't care. They just didn't care. They played your emotions, they played your feelings because they could, and they just didn't care. They had no feeling of passion towards it. That's like a really not nice feeling, right? But I think this situation is teaching you or showing you that you are extremely passionate. You're full of feelings. And that's not a bad thing. It means, though, that in this moment of death, you're really going to feel it because, like, you felt so deeply about what this thing was that releasing those feelings is a hard thing to do. But it's also one of the things that makes you a lovable and amazing person, is that you care so much. You care so much. And that's what one of the things that this loneliness is teaching you, is that you care so much. So, like, if the other part of this equation, the other part of this death didn't care so much, it's showing us that we deserve somebody or something that cares as much about us as we do about them. There's a Bible verse that says, do not be unequally yoked. And it's talking about Jewish people not marrying a non-Jewish person, or Christians not marrying a non-Christian person. But I'm talking about it in the way of, let's not be the one to carry all the care in a relationship. It takes two to tango, and if one is not doing the moves, it's no longer a tango. It's just one person carrying around somebody else. And you don't deserve that. You deserve somebody who cares just as much. This feels like a relationship reading, but it doesn't have to be. So the last card that I have for you, my group number 4s, is how can I resolve this feeling independently? And the card we have for you guys is the 8 of Air. Oh yeah, I love this for you guys. The 8 of Air. And this card says, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. So, this card normally has a woman who's tied up and surrounded by swords. But if you look closely, her binds are not tied. She is superficially stuck where she is. I think the work that your guides are telling you to do around this connection is to realize that you are not bound. You don't owe this person anything. You don't owe this situation anything. You owe yourself to find a safe place for you. A place where you are cared for just as much as you care for everybody else. The work, the self-work that needs to happen is that we need to realize that we are keeping ourselves bound. That there's no longer anything on the other side of this equation. You're the one that's keeping the equation in play. So we need to do some self-work about why are we afraid of letting go? Even if this is hurting us so much. Why are we afraid of setting out on our own and work on our self-confidence? Because when we realize that we're the one that has held the brunt of this relationship the entire time, you realize that if you had a partner or job or something that had supported you just as much as you supported them, you might be miles and leagues ahead of where you are. And not to say that you should be in any other spot. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, once you realize all the effort that you put in, you're like, shit. If I had put in this much effort with somebody else who had also put in this much effort, like, I'm unstoppable. So the work that needs to be done is on our self-confidence, on our understanding that we are the one, and finding self-assurance in that we are worthy of love and belonging. And if that's not what we're finding here in this place, it's time to let go. So the last thing I'm going to do for you guys, my group number 4s, is I am going to pull one card from my the Heart of Fairy Oracle, and that will be your reading. I'm sorry it's gotten so dark in the last like 5 minutes. I did not anticipate it getting this dark, which I should have when I started, but now it's too late to set up any more lights. So you just get the pretty moody one. So let's see what we got for you guys. It actually looks really pretty, at least to me, because I'm like a film camera junkie. So I'm like, ooh, grain, so pretty. All right, this is the card that we have for you guys. And the card that we have for you guys is, ooh, card 52, the Paradox. Card 52, the Paradox. I'm just going to read this to you out of the book. Card 52, the Paradox. Resolution of opposites. Intuitive decision. Tricky situation. It's good, but it's bad. It's right, but it's wrong. What is it? It's a paradox. All fairies are paradoxical in the same way. They don't easily fit into any one category. All good or all bad just isn't what they are about. But this is slightly different. This fairy shows up when something is, as an example, good but bad at the same time, and in equal parts. Confusing, isn't it? Have you ever been in a situation where you know that something is the right thing to do, but if you do it, it will absolutely be the wrong thing to do? Your intellect tells you that this thing is a good thing, but your gut instinct tells you that it's a bad thing. This is a time to stop and really, really pay attention. Look for signs. Examine your feelings, your intuition, your hunches. If you draw this card singly, you may want to take another to help clarify. If you have drawn this with, for example, the Queen of Night or the Prince of Shadows, then be very, very careful about how you proceed with a relationship. The way won't be clear, and something that feels right may, in this case, be really quite wrong or hold more danger than is wise to risk. If, on the other hand, you draw the Child with this card, then try looking for a situation not just from your grown-up point of view, but from a child's point of view. Find the balance between the two and proceed from there. Yeah, I think the card explained it pretty great. I don't really want to draw you another card because I think it's up to you guys to decide what situation you're in here. Because this is a general reading and lots of different people might watch it. I feel like it's up to you to say what it is. Okay. So that's all I'm seeing for you guys, my group number 4s. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out so much on this channel. And I hope you guys have a blessed everything. And I will see you next reading. This was Pan. Bye, guys.